Good evening, my dear friends. Tonight I'm going to read aloud my first fairy tale. Um, my fairy tale is Radish Stone, the Witch, and the Two Tigers. A fairy tale by Bertie Arroyo, my nickname. Okay, let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a wild boy called Radish Stone. He was on the way to see his girlfriend, Mahi Fental, when he decided to take a shortcut through the dark forest. It wasn't long before Radish got lost. He looked around, but all he could see were trees. Nervously, he searched into his bag his favorite weapon, a talkative sword. But the sword was nowhere to be found. Radish began to panic. He felt sure he had packed his sword to make matters worse. He was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, he saw two huge green tigers disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Radish. For the one of anything better to do, he decided to follow the peculiarly colored tigers. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, Radish reached a clearing. In the clearing were three houses. One made from chocolate, one made for cucumbers, and one made from donuts. Radish, Radish could feel his tummy rumbling. Looking at the house did nothing to ease his hunger. "Hello," he called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Radish looked at the roof of the closest house and wondered if it would be bad to eat somebody else's chimney. It would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble a little part of the wall or lick the corner of the door in a time of need. A cackle broke through the air, frightening Radish. A witch jumped into space in the front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was a sword. "Sword!" shouted Radish. He turned to the witch. "That's my weapon!" The witch just shrugged. "Give sword back!" cried Radish. "Not on your Nelly," said the witch. "At least let sword out of that cage." Before she could reply, two huge green tigers rushed in from a footpath on the other side of the clearing. Radish recognized the one that he'd seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. "Hello, big tiger," said the witch. "Good morning," the tiger nodded the sword. "Who is this?" "That's the sword," explained the witch. "Oh, sword would look lovely in my house." "Give it to me," demanded the tiger. The witch shook her head. "Sword is staying with me." Excuse me," Radish interrupted. "Sword is mine and live with me. and not in a cage. Big Tiger ignored him. Is there nothing you'll trade? He asked the witch. The witch thought for a moment, then said, "No problem. I could eat an entire no. The witch thought for a moment, then said, I'd like to be entertained. I'll release him to anybody who can eat a whole front door." Big Tiger looked at the house made from donuts and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from donuts if I wanted. I wanted." "That's nothing," said the next tiger. "I could eat two houses. There's no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one front door and I'll let you have the sword." Radish was feeling very worried. He didn't want the witch to give the sword to any big tiger. He didn't think the sword would like living with a tiger away from his house and all of his other stuff. The other tiger watched while Big Tiger put on his bib and withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat at this whole house," said Big Tiger. "Just watch." Big Tiger pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from donuts. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. Eventually, Big Tiger started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first, but after a few more forkfuls of donuts, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit as around. "I don't feel too good," said Big Tiger. Suddenly he started to roar. He'd grown so round that he could no longer balance. "Help!" he cried, as he rolled off down a slope into the forest. Big Tiger never finished eating the front door made from donuts, and the sword remained trapped in the witch's cage. Second Tiger stepped up and approached to the house made from candies. "I'll eat this whole house," said Second Tiger. "Just watch." Second Tiger pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from chocolate. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After a while, Aber's tiger started to look a little queasy. He grew greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into clearing. "What's this bush doing here?" he asked. "I'm not a bush, I'm a tiger," said the second tiger. "He talks," exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those taking bushes are the worst kind. It better take it away before somebody get hurt." "No, wait!" cried the second tiger, as the woodcutter picked her up, but the woodcutter ignored her cries and carried the tiger away under his arm. The second tiger never finished eating the front door made from chocolate, and the sword remained trapped in the witch's cage. "That's it," said the witch. "I win. I get to keep the sword." "Not so fast," said Radish. "There is still one front door to go." The front door of the house is made from cucumber, and I haven't had a turn yet. I don't have to give you a turn, laughed the witch. My game, my rules. The woodcutter's boy carried through the forest. I think you should give him a chance. It's only fair. Fine, said the witch. But you saw what happened to the tigers. He won't last long. I'll be right back, said Radish. What? Said the witch. Where's your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted to soar back. Radish ignored the witch and gathered a hefty pile of sticks. He came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully, he broke off a piece of a door of the house made for cucumber and tossed it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, he took a bite. He quickly devoured the whole piece. Radish sat down on a nearby log. You failed, crackled the witch. You were supposed to eat whole door. I haven't finished, explained Radish. I am just waiting for my food to go down. When Radish's food had digested, he broke off another piece of the door made from cucumber. Once more he toasted his food over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. He ate it at a leisurely pace, then waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Radish was down to the final piece of the door made from cucumber. Carefully, he tossed it and allowed it to cool just a little. He finished his final course. Radish had eaten the entire front door of the house made from cucumber. The witch stamped her foot angrily. You must have tricked me, she said. I don't reward cheating. I don't think so, said a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing, carrying his axe. This little boy won fair and square. And now, hand over sword, or I will chop your broomstick in half. The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Radish hurried over and grabbed the sword, checking that his favorite weapon was all right. Fortunately, the sword was unharmed. Radish thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet Mahi. It was starting to get dark. When Radish got to Mahi's house, his couple threw her arm around him. I was so worried, cried Mary. You are very late, as Radish described his date. He could tell that Mahi didn't believe him, so he grabbed a napkin from his pocket. What's that? asked Mahi. Radish unwrapped a doorknob made from candies. Candies? This is made from candies, he said. Mahi almost fell off her chair. This is the end. Thank you for hearing my fairy tale. Thank you and goodbye.